All right, all right. So today we are talking about marketing as an introvert for care managers. And my goal is that you essentially walk away today with real life tips that you can kind of start to use in the field. Um, I've been in senior care for just about 20 years. I've worked with multiple care management groups. I'm based out of here in the Washington, D.C. metro area, but I've worked with groups across the country from Denver, Houston, California, Arizona, a bunch of different places. So I've seen it all. I've seen the really, really quiet marketer care managers. And my goal today is that you actually take some things away today that you're like, you know what? That's good. I can use that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the presentation off. Right. Screen. All right. So marketing as an introvert. And again, my name is David Posner. Oh, there we go. If you want a copy of these slides, go ahead and hit the scan button. You can also email me. So if you got on the invitation, you saw my email or you got my emails, you can just shoot me a quick email back saying you'd like a copy of it, or want to make it easy for those that are that way you don't have to essentially write down every single thing we're going to talk about today. You've got the slides. It's got a lot of great content and information. But so if you want a copy of slides, just go ahead and scan. And otherwise, we'll keep going. All right, so who is this for? This is for that care manager who is a little nervous, right? Who kind of heads into the assisted livings and goes and sees their patients and walks out. It's for the ones that are required to go to networking events because they know this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go to networking events, or I need to go to networking events because we have to meet other home care agencies or hospitalists or whatever it might be, but I really don't like to go, and I kind of just hang out with my friends the entire time. Or just don't want to talk about themselves. The last thing that they want to do is talk about themselves. They love their patients. They love what they do. They love the families they work with, but they're just not great at going out and marketing. They are not the outgoing person who's wearing an outfit on Halloween and all this other stuff. They love their patients. They want to work with their families and just say as is. So if that's you, then this is the perfect webinar for you. I want to kind of highlight one of the other care managers I was kind of working with. When she wrote, David really helped me make sense of social media. So one of the things that we work with is helping care management companies on their social media and how to realize the benefits of social media. And so especially for those that are introverted, social media can be a great opportunity to be able to generate revenue. We'll talk about one of the slides. So I want to kind of highlight Scotty here. So, and special at the end, if you stay all the way toward the end, I'll look for it. I've got some great marketing templates that I can share with you, and I'll talk about them more as we get closer to the end. So what is my goal for today? My goal for today is that you learn three main things. One is how to leverage your own, and how to use questions to really get people going, what to prioritize in your day. And we will talk about networking events at the end because, yes, you do have to go to networking events. So who am I? So I've been in healthcare for over 20 years. I've worked with multiple care management companies, Elder Tree and Live Home, which is now Rosa, out in the Washington, D.C. market. I was 5 years VP of Business Development for homecare.com. And I decided to go out on my own and start my own consulting company. And my main focus is care managers. That's who I love working with. That's where I think there's a huge opportunity for growth. And I want to be able to help them. So I started this consulting company to mainly focus on care managers. So what can learning to market really do for you? Well, the first and foremost is it can help you get more referrals. Because if you get more referrals, it should be able to help you increase your census. And if you're increasing your census, you can increase your profits. And so regardless if you're the owner or if you're an employee, being able to learn how to market is just going to help you grow. It's going to be able to help the company grow, and you'll be able to do much more time with the families because you'll be able to hire more care managers on your staff. So what marketing does, it helps you increase your profits. That is the most important thing that it does. So it's really important that we learn the keys and some little small things that even introverts can do that's going to be able to get those assisted livings and hospitals and rehabs and home care agencies to be like, hey, you know what? I do need a care manager. And talking to that family, hey, you know what, family? I do need a care manager to kind of help me and oversee everything. So. All right, so we're going to focus on three main areas. So my company is called 3-Point Care Consulting. So you're going to see the three over and over again. So we're going to talk about three main areas. Number one is leveraging your strengths. Number two is what to prioritize and the secret of events. And when I say events, we're talking about networking. So leveraging your strengths. One of the greatest things about every single care manager I've ever met is they just have the biggest heart in the world. They are the ones that really want to just hug a family, help a family, work with a family. And they love, a lot of the ones that I work with love the complex ones. And so they're really good at working with families and helping families and managing families and connecting the dots and doing all of the things these families need. And so with that, if you leverage your strengths, which is your heart, you can really do a lot of great things. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, instead of doing like big, large lunch and learn events with like the entire team, when you walk into that assisted living, you walk into that rehab, start to use your one-on-one, use your heart, use your uniqueness to be able to focus on smaller, intimate meetings. So what does that mean? That means like lunch and learns, but just like one or two, just the discharge planning department, just the ED, just the nursing team, smaller lunch and learns, setting up appointments, bringing in snacks. So, the way that anybody's heart is bringing in donuts. That's why you see a lot of the marketers bring in, donuts and everything else. But what donuts does is donuts gives you time. Why? Because they have to look at the donuts. They have to take the donuts. They have to thank you for the donuts. And so all of those little things gives you time. And so by dropping off donuts and any other type of small gifts, you're going to be able to get more time with them. Bringing in articles. One of the reasons I love doing articles, and if you follow me on LinkedIn, I recently posted something about how Newsweek came out with the top nursing homes in the country. And all I said, the most simplest thing to do is print off that page for your area, for your region, hand it to somebody, right? And simply say, who do you think should be on this list? And why? Who do you think should be on this list and why? Or reverse, who shouldn't be on this list and why not? But here's what you're going to do. When you give someone in that article and you say, what do you think of this? Or who should be on this list? They're going to talk. And the greatest thing for an introvert is allowing other people to talk. And because what is the number one thing most people love to talk about anyway is themselves and their company and what they do. And so you give a discharge planner an article that says, hey, tell me your top skilled nursing facilities or assisted livings, or you give this to a hospital and you say, what are your top ones? They're going to talk and they're going to tell you what they think, and they're going to tell you who they like, and it's going to open up to so much information. And here's the best part. You didn't have to say more than 5 words. What did you think? That's it. What do you think about this? And they will talk. That's one of the greatest things, and one of the greatest tips I can give you as far as is bring articles. It'll allow to start the discussion. A forward tip on that is, staple your business card to it if you want to highlight a couple things. And that way they can pass it out to everybody else in their building, and they can talk about it. Hey, did you see the list? So-and-so just brought the list over. And so they can share it. And that's what this, the second bullet point here talks about is, leading with insights, right? Not self-promotion. I'm never worried about, self-promotion. And I know everyone helps talk about it, but start to use stories. When you're trying to get, one of the nice things that most introverted people love to do is they, again, go back to their heart. They love to talk about their families. So use that. Don't sell, ABC care management company can do this, and our rates are this, and our minimums are that, and we can do this and this. I would go in and tell a story. Hey, I'm just curious. Last week, or I just came from Mr. Johnson, or I just make up a name, right? Mr. X. And it was a really complex case. He had discharged out from the hospital. He had no family around. His neighbor actually recommended us. And we were able to set Mr. X up with an elder law attorney. I'm personally taking him to doctor's appointments, and so on and so forth. By the way, do you have anybody like Mr. X here that I could go and talk to, or that you could recommend for our services? So not that you're having a whole long conversation, you're sharing your stories of the type of person you like anyway, which is in general a great sales technique to what we call paint the picture. One of the other things I talk about with, home care agencies is they all go in and say, hey, do you have anybody for me? That never works, and it's awful, and it sounds even worse coming out of my mouth. But if I can say, hey, I met Mr. X, no family, has a heart condition, was in a hospital because of a recent fall, and do you have anybody like that? That's going to allow the social worker or the discharge planner or the hospitalist to start to think about people like Mr. X. So share stories. Again, this is all about how you can use your heart in all of this. And it goes back to people who refer to who they like. The more you can make that personal connection, that one-on-one connection, the better off you're going to be. So continue to leverage your strengths. Again, when we talk about, asking questions, use active listening. Now, the other thing you can do is start to prepare for questions to ask back. Prepare with a list of questions to be able to ask. And so I gave a couple care managers, and I'm happy to send this to you. Just want to shoot me a quick email. But I do this for a lot of my clients. I give them 4 or 5 questions just to keep it in their pocket. They don't have to take it out and read it, just kind of memorize it. But it's these, 4, right? It's what is your census? Do you like working with care managers? Why or why not? Do you have any challenging families? What do you do in that instances? So use those simple questions, and those 3 simple questions can be asked almost every time you visit, as far as what is your census, because census, as you know, is going to go up and down. So it's a great opportunity. The other thing I used to do before I walk into any facility or community is I'd go on their social media page, and I would look at, maybe Janice, their front desk person, just won Employee of the Month. It's a great opening. Hey, congratulations. Maybe Gerda just turned 100. Wow, you have somebody in here who just, became a centenarian. Can I meet her? Can I see her? Is she active? You can kind of have stuff like that by prepping on social media. So again, you're not selling yourself. You're not necessarily selling a company, just having an interest, because again, people refer back to who they like. Frequently asked questions that you may get asked, right? So here's the pro tip. If you are getting asked about your business, you are winning. Let me say that again. If they start to ask you, hey, tell me about your care management company, or hey, tell me how you guys work, or what's the process to send you a referral, or do you have any brochures? Then you are winning. It means they actually care about you, because trust me, these these discharge planners have plenty of other places to go. But when they start asking you, you're going to start winning. And you can start to put together, and I can send you a list. And I work with a lot of my clients to just give basic, frequently asked questions. And you can kind of put this on our website. But, they're going to ask you about your price. They're going to ask you about your hours. They're going to ask you about, how many people are on your team. They're going to ask you what your specialties are. some basic questions, but practice how you're going to respond to that and everything else. All right, number 2, prioritize emails and calls. So here's the most great stat I can tell you, and that is you are much more effective utilizing calls and emails than you are visiting 8 accounts. You can literally make up to 30 calls a day and versus making 8 different visits, right? You can have such more of an impact. But when you do that, you need to make sure that you are prepared. What is your purpose of the email? What is your purpose of the call? Again, going back to articles, going back to social media, what do you want them to know? What are you trying to get out of this? And it's not, and as you can tell, I said, what is it you want them to know? What do you want them to know? Not how to send you referrals. That's not what you want them to know. What you want to know is what makes you different, how important, what type of client you're looking for. Again, painting that type of picture. Subject line is key. So, if you got my emails today, I tried to play with a bunch of different subject lines and everything else. But, subject lines are key. We get thousands, and discharge planners, remember, they're getting emails from all of us, from all of home care, hospice, home health, plus the families, plus their building. So they get more emails than anybody else. So your subject line has to stand out. And if you need help with that, that's one of the services that we provide. Again, working with you on kind of putting up together, temporary emails. But subject line is absolutely key. But one of the things I always like to do, I always recommend this, is take 5 minutes, in the morning and do very simple. So Google and then type in city, nursing home, and news. That's it. So Denver, nursing homes, news. And here's what you're going to see: a bunch of articles about Denver and nursing homes. Now, the greatest thing is, like I said earlier, this is where you can start to get your information. And there's tons of other sites. There's, skilled nursing news. There's a lot of different places you can go. But the more localized you can get it, like I said, when you put in like Denver or Washington, D.C. or something like that, it's going to be specific. It's going to be about your area. And again, greatest thing to be able to do: did you see this? What do you think? Right? So on this picture, I have, U.S. needs more nurses, but nursing schools don't have enough slots. Have you heard about this? What do you think? Are your friends going into nursing? So, hey, just hand them this. What do you think about this? Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a huge nursing shortage. We're short here too. Really? Are your friends going into nursing school? No, everyone's trying to get out of it. Yeah, we're seeing that all the way. And so what does that do? That's building a rapport. That's getting you conversations. That's really keeping, and again, people refer to who they know, like, and trust. You're building a rapport because you're not just saying, hey, do you have anybody for me? You're actually starting a conversation and you're letting them talk. You're getting insights. They want to tell you about what they know and everything else. So I always love that side of it. But again, prioritize your emails and calls. You can be a lot more effective than those marketers that are going out and trying to visit, get a max of 8 accounts. You, with some simple emails a day, can really have a huge impact. So wrapping up with the last one, networking. Networking is the key. Yes, it is. And yes, you do need to go to networking events. But I'm going to give you the 2 biggest tips I can give you when it comes to networking and networking events and all of this. Number 1, find the host. Find the host and say, I don't know anybody, or I'm new, or hey, can you introduce me to some people? Surprisingly, I know you don't believe me, but here's what's going to happen. If you've ever hosted a party, if you've hosted Thanksgiving at your house, you will know that one thing is true, and that is you want everyone there to have a good time. When you host your kids' birthday parties, you want all the kids to have a good time. When you go to a networking event, that facility wants you to have a good time. It is the same concept of you hosting Thanksgiving dinner or a birthday kid for your kid. They want you. So when you go up to them and you say, can you help me? Can you introduce me to somebody? They will say yes. They may say, who do you want to meet? And you can say, is there anybody from a rehab or hospital or hospice or home health there? You know there's going to be plenty of home care people. Can you introduce me? But what that's going to do is they're going to walk up to probably the most friendly person ever, right? Someone who they've known, and they're going to say, hey, I'd like you to introduce you to Lucy. Lucy's with ABC Care Management. Oh, hi, Lucy. How are you? Good. How are you? And then you can ask them, and then it gets into my second bullet point, ask questions. Again, what is the number one thing people love to talk about? Themselves. That's right. So we ask them questions. What are questions? Ask them whatever you want to know, or ask them about their business. They work for a home care agency. And I know you're going to be like, well, I know everything about home care. Okay. Why did you get into home care? How long have you been in home care? What makes your home care agency different? What else, what brought you here tonight? Do you currently work with Brookdale, Sunrise, fill in assisted living? So you can ask questions and they will talk. Why did you get in the industry? They will go on for a while. Tell me about your company. They're going to go on for a while. And then let's say worst case scenario, you're tired of this person. You can ask that person to introduce you to somebody else. Hey, I'm trying to meet a few people here. I'm kind of nervous. Just be honest. Hey, can you introduce me to somebody? Sure. We're all in healthcare. The amazing thing about this industry, and I love this industry so much, is that we all want to help people. And I'm sure if I asked you to help me find someone, the first thing you'd be like, absolutely. And I'm going to introduce you to the most friendly person I know, most likely, right? So that is the huge benefit of networking events, of how you, as an introvert, can start to work networking events. Ask the host to help you. Or if you know who the guru is, I'm in Washington, D.C., so Steve Gurney is like our big guru. Ask him, ask the host to be able to help you out. And then again, ask questions and allow them to finish the conversation. The other thing I wanted to bring up was this, social media. So I came up with this fun little plan that takes 5 minutes and it will dramatically increase your business. So, and here's the best part about social media. And for those that hate social media, I get it. I completely understand. I've got a 15-year-old daughter who honestly, between us three, has gotten a hate page about her because, she took somebody's boyfriend. So I get social media can be really bad. However, there's a lot of good about social media, especially for introverts. You don't have to post. One of the things you're going to see here is I don't really have that much on posting. This is more of how you can interact. So if you have a company page, use that. If you want to have a page without your profile picture, use your middle name maybe, or first name and middle name, whatever you want to do, or just say, I'm Janice, the care manager, fine. But I would get on social media and I would start with LinkedIn because that's a business page. It's not the negative of the Facebook and everything else. LinkedIn is professional. It's if you're only going to do one, do that one, because when you try to get into skilled nursing or hospitals or assisted livings, all of those people are also on it. It's a great way to, as I mentioned earlier, prep for your day, being able to learn people, meet people, and at network events, so on and so forth. So LinkedIn is an absolute must. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter are bonuses. And so let me walk you through my 5-5-5 plan. And so I came up with this a couple years ago, and it's everyone who I tell loves it. So it's really simple. I call it my 5-5-5 plan. Take 5 minutes a day. Let me say that again. 5 minutes a day. And you go to 5 of your referral sources pages and you write a 5-worded comment. 5 minutes a day, 5 referral sources, 5-worded comment. Why 5 words? Because that's the algorithm, and they don't want you just put a, hey, congratulations, or thank you, or whatever. They want you to say, congratulations, Miss Jones, on your 100th birthday, or Rebecca, congratulations on Employee of the Month. So 5 words, I know. But 5 minutes a day, 5 referral sources, 5-word comment. Here's the best part. posts times 5 days, right? Monday through Friday, 5 posts, 5 days. That's 25. Times 4 weeks in a month, that is 100 touches. Let me say that again. 5 posts a day times 5 days, 25 times 4 weeks is 100 touches. You can have 100 touches in a month. That is amazing. Taking 5 minutes a day. And here's the coolest thing. I'll tell you. Here's the other fun secret. So there's only 2 types of people that go to, let's say, Brookdale of Denver, Colorado's page. People that work and live, and families that work and live at the Brookdale of Colorado's, Denver's Facebook page, right? So the people that work there and live there are going to their page. And the people that service the Denver, Colorado area, the professionals that work in the area. I am Washington, D.C. I have never gone to a Denver, Brookdale's Facebook page ever in my life. And I have no plans to. But here's the benefit of being local, is that the people, if you post something, you comment something on their page, they will see it. The people that work there will see it. And so what that does is when you walk in, they may start to recognize your name, or they'll recognize your company. And that's how you can be able to build relationships much, much faster, because it shows that you care about them, right? You're commenting on their page. It shows that you've taken the time out of your day, that you've done your research, that you looked up, and when you say, oh, Janice's 100th birthday, they're going to be like, that's amazing. And you know what they're going to do? When you comment on something and they've never seen you before, they're going to look at the profile of the company you work with. And so that's going to be able to build that additional know, like, and trust that we were talking about earlier. So you're going to get on social media. LinkedIn is the best. Business. The other ones are great as well. There's a lot of different things you can do for it. If you want more on social media, I'm happy to help you. It's one of the other things that my company does. And regarding this next part, which is create content, right? So, interview your team members, interview the families. You can share those stories on your post. Frequently asked questions by those families. That's a great post. And of course, any testimonials that you've gotten, those are all great content. Those are all great posts to be able to share. So, social media, whereas I know some people are kind of nervous about it, there is some great things to it as well. And especially for an introvert, that's a great be able to benefit. And I saw this stat and I wanted to kind of share it as we begin to wrap up. And that is marketing matters, right? So every dollar spent on email marketing, the business gets $42 in return. That's by litmus.com. And so by taking the time and doing marketing, your business will be able to generate revenue. Because they'll be able to see it, they'll know it, they'll like it, they'll trust. And it really does make a difference. So it's important to be able to kind of go out there and do the marketing. So kind of wrapping it all up, what did we learn today? So we talked about leveraging your strengths and how to lead with your heart and being able to ask questions. Number 2, we talked about prioritizing emails and calls. You can hit 30 accounts by emails and calls much faster than you can by simply, going out and visiting. So especially those that don't like to go out and visit, you can say, you know what, I can call 30 accounts a day. I can email 30 accounts a day and have much more of an impact. Add on social media to that, and it's even a win-win. Network events, talked about that. You don't have to go in there and try to meet someone. Utilize the host. Utilize the host to introduce you to people, and utilize social media to be able to get people to start to know who you are. So I always like to kind of pause here for a minute and just ask, what did you learn today? What questions? Where can I help? Is there something that you got out of today or you want clarification on? So I'll give you guys a minute to kind of walk through this and just put it in the chat if there's something that you want me to kind of clarify or go over. Right. So my own company, 3 Point Care Consulting. Just let me take 2 minutes and introduce my own company, and that is I am a consultant. And I work predominantly with care managers on their sales, their marketing, and their leadership to help them grow their business, help them get referrals from hospitals, help them get, how to do a proper ROI from Lunch and Learns, and how to close families to actually get a commitment. So if you're interested in learning more, please check out my website at 3pointcareconsulting.com. And for the bonus package, for those that stayed on, I offer 2 main packages. First is the coaching calls, 3 months, 9 calls, 50 minutes each, or a 2-day sales academy bootcamp where we go in for 3 hours, 2 days, and really hit on closing techniques, marketing plans, overcoming objections, all of that. For those that stayed on, the bonus. So simply email me and I will get you some marketing flyers that you can use today, tomorrow on when you're working with assisted livings. So any questions? All right. Remember, introverts enjoy connecting with people. They just like to do it one-on-one. So again, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or anything else, just hit me back on the email, follow me on LinkedIn, and if I can be of any assistance, please let me know. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good night.